Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go. 10-2 stop.
Touchdown, defense.
Get it, play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2nd and 13. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Gannon. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah,
I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd down. Love. Flush to his right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
On 2nd down, it's Scott. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, it's been working on it for a little bit.
90 wolf.
6-man. Check curls. Check
it up.
Looking to throw on second down. Gannon forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Got it.
45, Mike, 45. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
Well, that was big right there, because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on third down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the first down marker at the Bucs' 43-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 30.
I like watching the wide receiver screen, because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
30 base. Screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. The 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
I'm going to score.
And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now 14-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
They go play action here on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Vita Vea able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Gannon. Escaping, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. J.J. Watt, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. Creeping up on 1,000. Could get there on this drive. So a challenge for him to do that, but also defensively maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. And what that really means is wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now instead of blitzing your linebacker, drop him into coverage. Instead the safety drop.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Scott Miller, his second touchdown on the season as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-point drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Off the play fake. Love going up top for Miller. And that is caught. What a grab at the 8. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 57 yards.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back.
Chopper!
Operating from the gun. Love eluding the pressure right. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Brashad Perriman with touchdown number 8 on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Go
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. Normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now a throw here to his running back. 7 yards there and a first down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Back to throw. Gannon.
You can see the time.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. David Onyemata in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. David Onyemata has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Taken in at the 11. Dances by him. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game. 5 yards on the catch there brings up second down. Second and 5. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 22 yards there, a first down. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half. Gay's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it. And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. We've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they've got it very deep in enemy territory. It's inside the 5 at the 3-yard line, 1st and goal. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him. I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting. And even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. This defense hasn't let them in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go!
Here comes the defensive unit now for the Buccaneers onto the field. They probably didn't have too much to say over on the sideline with how they're playing right now. Just, hey, give us more of the same.
More of the same is always a good thing when it's going well. When things aren't going so well, that's not the line they want to hear. But right now, they are really coordinated well, making all the right plays, covering for each other. It's really nice to watch if you like defensive football.
This defense excelling at this point. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. That's thrown to Smith-Schuster out wide. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
18 Gators.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
On 1st and 10, Gannon. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Looking to throw. Gannon rolling to his left. And he's going to keep it here. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escaping.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes, what do you resort to? Your legs, try and escape. What you hope is that this doesn't become habit for him, that he learns how to handle the pressure, still keep his eyes downfield, and make some throws.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Throwing on first down. Gannon. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever hit upfield. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen.
Jones hit, and the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
He needs better protection, that's for sure. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Hey, let's get this, get this.
On first down, Love. It's complete. It's Miller. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front.
To throw on second down. Love. He completes it to Evans. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. That one looks like he'll throw here. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. From the gun, Love. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here.
And it's a fumble, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. There he goes, right side. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Tampa Bay defense coming back out now. They've had a great game. They have given this offense fits all game long.
Got plenty to review, plenty to enjoy. How about
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Back to throw. Gannon, now in desperation. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. On 1st and 10, Love. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.